a snake never shows its true skin in the beginning. When your character starts to change, that's a problem. Sometimes you gotta break the core to really see how people are. Woo. Welcome, beautiful people. I am Chev. If you're new to this channel, welcome. GWAN. Make sure you subscribe down below. Now for today's video, this is another girl talk video, and I went on Instagram and I asked you guys for some suggestions for our next topic, and you guys gave me a boatload of questions. If you missed out on topic suggestions, you can follow me on Instagram, or you could just comment down below this video. Let me know what type of topics you want to see. Going through the Instagram suggestions, one of the most common topics of discussion was about friendships. So I'm just going to read out some of the suggestions, and then we're going to just compact them all together and make a discussion out of it. So one of the questions asked, how would you make friends, Black and Caribbean, when you moved here? Here as in, I live in Toronto, Canada. Another question was just the topic of fake friends and how to know when your friends don't wish the best for you, don't want to be your friend anymore. Okay, now this might be a little bit of story time because I feel like the best type of chats is when you give examples and stories and just life experiences. I might just throw a little bit of story in there, a little bit of scenario, the type of friendships that I've had with people that I'm no longer friends with, just some generalized type of conversation. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is how did I make friends, or how to make friends when you move to a different country, a new environment overall. Now for me, I've been living in Toronto, Canada for 6 years now. I moved here in 2014. I've had quite a few friendships that I no longer have right now. It was a trial and error type of situation for me because obviously you're new to this whole city, this whole country, and you're trying to find your way and navigating through encountering different types of people and trying to find that one that sticks for you. When I got here when I was 20 years old, and I started university a couple of months after I got here. So I was in my first year of university when I was living in Jamaica, and then I moved here and I decided to take a couple months break just to get acquainted with my environment. Is that the right word? To assimilate properly within the society. Am I using the right words? I don't know. I didn't have any friends obviously for the first couple of months that I lived here. I didn't know anybody here. I had this one guy friend that I was friends with in Jamaica, but it wasn't like, you know, like a close friendship or anything like that. It's just someone like to say, hey, have you been this place? You know, I know you're new to the city. Just a welcoming face. So I had that, but it wasn't like much of anything. And then I started school. So I started York University in Toronto. And my first couple of months, because I started in the summer, so I did summer school just to catch up on the months that I missed out in for my second year. Obviously, I didn't really, I don't know, I was just more focused on school because I'm new. I'm not trying to like jump into a friendship or anything like that. I miss my friends back home. You know, it's kind of weird because it's like trying to find Caribbean people, Black people. So my first set of friends were brown. So I don't know if she was, I say brown because I don't know if they were Indian, Paki, I don't know. So they were brown people. I had this one girlfriend. I think I still have her on my Snapchat. I'm not even sure. Anyways, I had a 1-2 brown friend from my political science class, because doing political science in itself in Toronto, there wasn't much Black people that did my courses. So I would be like 1 in 2 Black people in a class of maybe 100 in a seminar. So I found friendship in other races, and it wasn't friendship, it was just classmates. After summer school ended September, I tried to get into clubs. So I tried to get into more student type activities, student organizations. So the first student organization that I joined was obviously the Caribbean Students Association. So that's where I met Simba, and I met some other people. So that is how I met Black people, because of school. So I had a society, I had an organization filled with my type of people. In that sense, it was fairly easy. It took some months, but I met people with my background. With that, moving to the topic of identifying fake friends and when a friendship has run its course. I've had quite a few friendships that just didn't work out. Some friendships just end because you outgrow each other and you don't have the same interest anymore. Some friendship because that person is just not here for you, or the person is just not what you want in a friend. Or maybe it is that you don't want this person as a friend, so you might be seen as a bad guy in their scenario because you got to take a step back because you realize we're not good for each other. Now, for me personally, I've had friendships that have ended worse than breakups, and that is a real thing that I don't think a lot of people talk about. Like, it's some real heartache type thing, or it might be some vicious type of ending, and that has happened to me maybe twice in my 26 years. So I could just go back to, like, okay, this is like a story time of Chev's worst friendships or Chev's breakups. The first real experience that I got a terrible friendship was when I was 12 years old. So at 12 years old, I had this friend that I was best friends with since like maybe the second grade. I'm not gonna call her name obviously, but we're cool now. Like, we don't talk on a daily basis, but we're cool. But this is like, I learned that lesson at 12 about being cautious of people and how you relate to them and the type of things that you tell people, like your story, your life issues. Like, at 12 years old, I learned this lesson. We were really close. She slept over my house, I slept over hers. Our parents were good friends, everything. And I confided in her about this family secret that no one else outside of my immediate family knew. And we had an argument. Like, I don't know if we were cussing. I can't even remember 12-year-old Chev cussing. I probably was, you know, kind of dirty and thing. And while we were having this childish argument, she threw that thing back in my face. I know I lost the argument because she just threw that bomb in my face. And I remember distinctively at 12, like, wow. Like, that shit really hurt me. Like, wow. Like, to this day, I will never forget that. She has apologized to me even while we were in high school, because I think we didn't talk for 2 years until we were like 14, but it was just not the same. And I think I told my mom, and my mom just wasn't here for it. Yo, the worst thing you could do about like a breakup or having an argument with somebody and you tell your parents, like a mom or a cousin or something, you can forgive the person, but your family member won't ever forget how that person did you dirty. So my mom never let me sleep over her house ever again. Like, yeah, the friendship was just done. I like her, she's a cool person, but in that instance, like, the friendship was it for me. And I think I have had that mentality since that lesson at 12 years old. And I think I have carried that weight of keeping myself reserved. Even on this channel, you guys see me, like, it's so hard to like show you guys like life, you know what I'm saying? Because people use those tools against you, and I'm not about to give you the dagger to stab me in the heart, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to give you that. It was that lesson at 12 where I was very wary of friendships. So for me, I give up easy, I would say, on friendships. Like, you just hurt me that one time and I will not allow you to do it again. Like, there's no way we're coming back from that. Like, we're done. We'll be cool, but it is what it is. It's done for me. And obviously with friendship, there's some friendships are seasonal. I tell people this all the time, even my cousins or my sister, like, the friendships that you have in high school, be prepared to not have those friendships in your adulthood. Realistically, I do have a couple friends from high school, and it's very few. Because I'm 26 now, and the older I get, the less friends that I have. So I tell my cousin and my sister, like, the friends that you have in high school may not be your friends in adulthood, because friends are seasonal. They run their course. You may have a friend for a certain reason. Like, I had a friend through high school that was my, typically it is what it is. It's my party friend. This is the friend that I have when we're going somewhere fun or we're doing things. Like this was like 14, 15, 16. I had this friend and I can't even look back at it and say I like the person that I was. Not that this person was a bad person or they force you to do anything or you do anything. It's just that, you know, like when you're with somebody, like you have a different vibe about you. You become someone else, which is not good, but it does happen. And then when you change your mindset from the mindset that you were with this person, then that person is no longer useful to you because you're on a different wavelength now. I was on the wave that you were, and we were good together. We were good friends, but I'm not there in that place anymore. So we can't work out. It might look like you're just a bad friend, you just disappeared on them. You can have that talk, but people don't like confrontation and people don't like to hear the truth. I tend to avoid confrontation. Like, I'm just that person. I won't totally ghost you, but when you're on a different wavelength, like their lifestyle is not your lifestyle anymore. Their way of doing things is not your way of doing things. Then you have to let that friendship go. Not everybody wants to sit down and talk like, I don't like your character anymore. That's not me. Because then it's like you're looking down on them or you're condoning their behavior, but you were just doing what they were doing. So for me, it's just like a gradual shift in, you know, communication for me. So that happens. Seasonal friendships are a thing, and you just gotta know when the season is over. And some people don't know how to move calmly through those type of friendships. Some people become vicious about it, like, oh, you're a bad friend, you don't want to hang out anymore, you just change. People don't tell you when they're changing, all of that. But it's like we have to give people room to realize that we just don't mesh anymore. And some people might see that as fake friendships too, like when the other person just decides that they don't want to be friends with you anymore. But that's just how the seasonal and the reasonal friendship is. Sometimes some people are in your life for a reason, like their friendship is for an outcome in terms of like how your life is played out or the type of road that you take in life. Sometimes you just gotta know when to cut that friendship out, like to be done with it. For me right now, being on YouTube, like it's even more weird because I know like you don't know what people's intentions are for you. Not saying like, oh, you're all of that, or oh, you got a YouTube channel or whatever. It's like it's still, you have to be so careful. Like, are people genuine? Like, are they really here for you? Or if they're here for you, you know what I'm saying? Like a different for you type of vibe. Now, I could give another example, like a type of story time type thing about like, how to know when your friends don't wish the best for you or don't want to be your friend anymore. And I could say like I've been through something like that maybe 2-3 years ago. As I said, going through friendships, living in a different country, you gotta go through some bad ones to get to some good ones. I had this first real close girlfriend that I have when I moved here, and right now I don't even know what kind of wavelength she's on. She was a smart girl, but she was kind of, I don't even know how to describe her. She was a little bit wild, and I wouldn't consider myself wild. You know, like the type of girls that their name will be old, stink, and dirty to everybody, and then it's like you don't want to be attached to that, especially in university and you're new. You don't want to be that girl that the footballers or the this people know about, or just kind of ditzy. This person was a really nice person, but it's like, you know, after a while, as I said, you're new to the environment, but it's like you realize you don't want your name attached to that person at all. So you gotta let that friendship go. And I had a group of other friends, and yeah, they were just not it. But anyway, so back to what I was saying about knowing when the friends don't want the best for you or they don't want to be your friend anymore. Now, this could be like a story time, but I'm gonna dumb down the story a little bit. Keep the story on the surface as much as possible without giving you all too much dirty dirt. When to know when a friend doesn't wish best for you. And I could give the perfect example. Like, I had these friends at the time that were very same-minded as myself. We were on the same wavelength. Not personality wise, but still like close enough where we meshed together. We were on different levels in life. That you had one that was doing well, successful, had a good relationship, and then you had one that wasn't so doing good in terms of relationship, but this is a good person, and financially and all of that, they weren't on the same level as the other one. And then you had me, that I was just in the middle. Like, I didn't even start YouTube yet when I became friends with these people, and you know, I was just doing my thing. I was working in retail, school, university, and being in this friend group, we were good for a while. We hang out together, sleepovers, go out on trips, like do just fun girl stuff. They were also Jamaican as well. They were smart, they were good people at the time. The friendship became kind of sour, not to say because of YouTube, because I don't think that wasn't it at all. You're doing your own motion as well. And in my first 2 years of YouTube, I wouldn't say I was like depressed, but I was going through seasonal depression. Like, I wanted my time, I wanted to be alone a lot of the time, and that had to do with juggling, trying to finish school, doing a YouTube channel that was becoming successful in a way that it could provide a way of life for me, and also having a retail job, having family things to deal with, boyfriend type stuff. Like, it was a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I was just exhausted and tired. And then to add type of almost like a needy type friendship just wasn't gonna cut out for me in my basket of bullshit that I had to deal with. What had happened was, when I realized that this friendship just wasn't it anymore, like, I was going through some relationship issues, and the friends talked dirty about my boyfriend, and obviously they have their own viewpoint, and that's fine, because that's what your friends are for, right? They're supposed to tell you stuff, and I appreciated that, but it was a way in which it went about, like, spiteful and just dirty, just causing more conflict on top of the stress and all the depression and shit that I was going through. So I tried to separate my friendship from my relationship, but it was just so nasty that I just couldn't let the two coexist, plus doing schoolwork, YouTube, and a job. That's a lot of things happening in my life, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like when your friends are going through something in terms of maybe a relationship, there's a way in which to go about it. You can't attack your friend in the most vulgar and nasty way. You have to make sure that they get your viewpoint, and then allow them to make life decisions for themselves. But what these type of friends do is, they not only did they go about it in a rough type of way in terms of like talking bad about the relationship and the person, they became so vicious in it that they started talking bad about me. So they would talk about behind my back to another friend, and another friend will, you know, try to ease away from it, and still let me know, like, okay, I don't know if we're feeling these friends, because the other friend was my friend before their friend. You know, it sounds so high schoolish and stupid, right? And this is what, like, I was 22, 23. Sounds very high schoolish. Anyways, so they would talk shit about the money that I'm spending since doing the YouTube. They'll be talking about gifts that, like, they would say like I paid for my own gift, like my boyfriend didn't pay for the gift. Like, it was a lot of nasty and negativity. It was so negative, and I'm like, how do you go from hating or talking bad about the relationship to you just hating and talking bad about me? Like, I didn't do anything. Like, why are you talking bad about me? And because I don't drive, I am terrified of driving, so I take a lot of Ubers. I Uber everywhere. Unless I can get a drive, somebody gonna drive me somewhere, Simba gonna drive me somewhere, my mom gonna drive me somewhere, I'm a Uber. And they would like make comments about how much Uber trips I make, how much times I would, you know, just Uber everywhere. They're like watching how I spend my money. Like, that's a red flag in any friendships. Like, a friend giving you some sideways comments about how you spend your money, as if to say like, how much do you make? Like, that's none of your business, first of all. And I remember this was like my first year going to Jamaica Carnival. And you know, Jamaica Carnival is expensive. Like, any type of carnival is expensive. So I you know, like this was my first carnival. This would be my graduation gift to myself. So I'm gonna spend money because I could afford it. So I'm gonna pay for that $1,000 costume because I can afford to pay for it and be okay. Okay, coming from living in Jamaica in a 1-bedroom with my mama and my sister, if I'm doing well for myself and I want to reward myself because I just finished school, I just finished a 4-year degree in 2 years, I'm gonna treat myself. So I'm booking my trip to go back to Jamaica for carnival, doing all the parties, like balling, you feel me? They would make sideways comments about, I wouldn't spend all that money on a costume. Ooh, I wouldn't pay for that. I wouldn't do all of that. Like, there was a lot of red flags. There's a lot of red flags to identify in friendships, that when you realize that, you know what, you want to take a step back from the friendship. Sideways comments making you feel down. Just your confidence is not there in the friendship. It's time for you to just get up and go. When they start talking shit about you behind your back, it's time to go. And you don't need a confrontation. You just need to get up and go. And that's what I did. I just blocked off of everything. Like, I didn't care. Like, block, 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 and goodbye. Never congratulated on the success of your achievements, like to say YouTube, not even a congratulation on 100 subscribers or all of that. Like, you just gotta take up your shit and go, because these people, they're really not there for you. I'm just remembering something talking about seasonal depression. I remember I made my first chit chat type video about depression. I don't remember what the context of the video was, but I just remember I just wanted to talk. That was like my first video where I felt like I used my platform as my outlet. Like, I didn't give too much in-depth ish that I was going through, but I did give you guys something. I expressed my depression because I felt like there was no one around to help me with it. And instead of taking that into like, let me call Chev, she's going through something, she had to use a different outlet because she felt like nobody was around. Let me call her and let her know that I'm here. I had different type of people call me. I had my friends in Jamaica FaceTiming me every day that week just to make sure I was okay. I had my best friend here call me same time she saw that video. She's like, oh my god, like, my heart broke to know that I'm here, but I wasn't here to realize that you needed me. And then those people didn't say jack squat to me. They didn't say anything at all. And then later on, I found out that they had a little group meeting about it, and they were upset because I made them look bad. Because who knew, like, the people who knew we were friends, they think the people would look at them and say they're not good friends because Chev had to go on YouTube and say she was going through depression and she had no one there. So instead of calling me, girl, like, I can't believe like you were going through this, I wouldn't have known, because I didn't blame anybody for that. I was going through my own thing. And as I said, when I go through my thing, I just close off. You know, it's really hard. Like, I didn't blame anybody. I just talked. And instead of coming to me and saying, just say anything, say something. Now that I made it vocal, say something. Some people cry for help. Some people, they use different methods of, you know, needing people or needing something there. Instead of doing all of that, they, again, went behind my back, talked about me some more, and was just downright nasty. A friendship can start out so good, but then people, maybe you change, maybe the other person change, but you're not on the same wave anymore. It's time to pack up and go before it gets nasty. And as I said, a lot of people don't know how to separate and be amicable. Is that a word? Amicable? I think I just butchered that whole word. Some people don't know how to do that gracefully, just to part. That was some nasty breakup friendship, because after blocking and deleting, I got messages about spilling my dirty laundry on social media. Then you look at shit like that and be like, is it because I'm on social media heavy, like your presence, like you have this platform, and if you didn't have this platform, would they come to you with that dirty talk about, oh, I'm gonna put all your secrets out there? And then that's when you go, aha, the light bulb right there. That shows your character. That is your character right there, that I didn't see in the beginning, but I see afterwards. There it is. That's your true color. That's your true self. And that happens. Like, sometimes you gotta break the cord to really see how people are, just to see how they is. And that is just some of the key things to identify a fake friendship. They bring you down. They do nothing for your self-esteem. Like, they talk bad about you. They talk behind your back. They belittle you in your achievements, in your success, in your life. They don't offer any type of value to who you are. Maybe you realize that your character is different with this person. That is when you need to distance yourself. When your character starts to change, that's a problem. And when I say change, I mean change for the worse. Like, you're not who you think you are when you are with this person. Also, some friendships, they only come around when they need something, when you can do something for them. I don't think I've ever had that type of friendship, like people want something from you, because I'm worried. As soon as I see like you're one of those type of people, I'm gonna step back, I'm gonna step to the side. So I'm very wary. I keep myself closed off in friendships. Like, I ain't telling nobody. I tell you, since I was 12 years old, learning that lesson, I ain't tell nobody life secret. That 12-year-old friendship was it for me. It cut the umbilical cord. I was done. And the friendship that I have had the longest, that has served so much value. Like, I have different levels of friends now, like serve different purpose in my life. Like, as I said, I have friends from high school that are like a sisterhood. Even though you don't live in the same country, you don't talk all the time, but it's like a sisterhood. Anytime you're in the same place, you know, it has to be a link up. You have to go to that person. I have my friends in New York and in Jamaica, and then I have my best friends, like two of my best friends I met when I was in pre-university. That those friendships serve so much purpose in my life. It's like you would do anything for these people. Like, these people are your life. That friendship will never end. Fake friends, you will go through those. Sometimes it's hard because a snake never shows its true skin in the beginning. Like, I did have dreams about snake before some of my friendship ended. I had to call like my auntie and ask her, like, what does snake mean? Like, I feel like snakes were attacking me in my dreams. And then I just knew I had to end the friendship. I don't do snakes. You go through those life experiences, you identify the red flags, and you make your move. Like, you decide if you want to stay or go. And sometimes it's you. Sometimes it can be you that is the problem. And sometimes when you realize it's you, like, maybe you're not a good friend to this person, sometimes you need to step back. When you realize that you're not a good friend to somebody, you step back. If I realize that I mean you no good in terms of I'm not interested in you as you're interested in me, I'm gonna step back. Like, I've had those instances. Like, I've had acquaintances when I realize like I'm not a good friend for you. Sure and secure in myself well enough to know that I may not be a good friend to somebody, so I'm going to take the highway. I'm gonna be like, girl, like, I'm not the one for you. Some people don't want to hear that though. Some people might look at that like Chev's a bitch or something. And that is it. That is all I got to say. I think I covered everything, right? I think I did. That felt like a therapy session just now. If you want to talk about another topic, leave it down below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel as yet, you need to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter at damnthatschev. I will put polls on my Instagram of what type of topics we should do next. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, watch my stories, and see how you can participate in your topic we can talk about. And that is all that I have for you guys today. Go on and big up on yourself. Bye, guys. Mwah.